Hi, I'm Roman, also known as Romanesque. I play the Elder Scrolls Legends, I stream the game on Twitch, and I'm a coach on Gamer Sensei. In this video, we will discuss an aspect of the game that makes it truly unique, the runes and prophecies. We will talk about how you should think about them and how they should affect your play in general, and we will provide some tips and tricks about how to play around them in more specific positions. Whenever your opponent goes to a life total of 25, 20, 15, 10 or 5, they draw a card. If that card has the keyword prophecy, they can play it for free even on your turn, stopping you from attacking them sometimes. This means that there is a downside to attacking, even though you still need to deal 30 points of damage to end the game. Moreover, some cards like Dawnstar Healer give you advantages whenever you break a rune. Like, in this case, healing you for 3 points of life. So how do we play around those runes? Even though the prophecies are the scariest part of breaking runes, keep in mind that drawing cards is a very costly effect in this game. Be careful with how much resources you give your opponent. When you are playing control, be very careful with your attacks. Here, the control mage has completely stabilized and his opponent is out of cards. However, the control mage is waiting until he has lethal on board in one turn before attacking, because he knows that if he gives his opponent cards, he can assemble lethal damage before the control player is able to finish the game. For this reason, he just deals with the cards one by one, which is not very hard to do for a control deck, until he has a chance at going for lethal. On the turn he goes for lethal, he attacks first. If he meets the prophecy that stops lethal, he stops there and tries a turn after. The only way the mage loses this game is by being too hasty, so keep that in mind when you see this sort of board position. When playing aggro against aggro, be very careful with how you use your resources, because if you give your opponents too many cards early in the game, they will use their low-cost cards to punish you. For this reason, in the early turns, you want to develop creatures, take some trade, and take control of the board. When you have control of the board, you know it is time to strike, and then you play your charge minions, and you go for 2 or 3 turn lethal. If you go earlier, you could get punished, so be patient and find the moment to strike. Facing very slow decks is completely different. Here, the Crusader player knows that he is facing a Ram Scout, a deck that has almost no prophecies and very few defensive tools early in the game, but a very powerful late game. For this reason, the Crusader player starts attacking his opponent very early in the game, and is not afraid of breaking runes because he knows that the cards the Scout will draw are so expensive he will never get to play them. This is why he starts ending the game turn 1 and does not miss a single point of damage. If you are planning to attack your opponent and play a creature on the same turn, be very careful to play the creature after attacking. Here, I make the mistake of playing Lumbering Ogrim before attacking my opponent. He gets a prime removal prophecy, and instead of having no targets, he gets to remove my Ogrim for free, and this very often will decide the game. The same idea stands for a prophecy creature. Here, I learn from my mistake, and I decide to play my Ogrim after attacking face to see the prophecy. My opponent gets a prophecy, it's a creature, and he plays it on the field lane. Then I play my Ogrim in the shadow lane, and I avoid a very bad trade. In general, you always want to see where the creature goes and then reevaluate where you put your own creature. If you are going to play removal and attack your opponent in the same turn, attack first. That way, you might see a better target for removal, or get more value from an AoE spell. Here, the sorcerer attacks face before playing Ice Storm and gets some free value. When going for lethal damage, it is usually important to try to play around prophecies as much as possible. The most common way of accomplishing this is to skip the last rune by swinging with a creature over 5 attack for your last blow. This is not always possible, but when it is usually strictly better than not doing it. It gets more complicated if you have to break 3, 4, 5 runes in the same turn. Here, The mage player has lethal damage, but he has to think about how to optimally sequence his attacks. The best way of going about this is to break runes one by one. The idea is that if your opponent gets a prophecy, he has to use it defensively, so the lightning bolt goes on a creature, not on your face, and the creature goes on the board, where you can remove it safely. So either way, he does not gain card advantage from your attack. If your lethal attempt is stopped, then there is no issue, you can simply wait one turn or even 2 or 3 turns later. This is the key of this whole video, right? You have to be patient when you go about breaking runes, and as long as you are patient and only break runes when you have to, you will get an edge in every single game you play. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and hopefully learned something. Either way, thanks a lot for watching. My name is Romanesque and I'll see you next time.